And we are live for week 5 of Anchor Down, the Topsail Pirates football show. This is your weekly call for Pirates football. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Thanks for those of you joining us live on YouTube. We appreciate it. For those of you live, go ahead and go down and like the video. Give us a thumbs up. The more of you that do that, the more we get kicked into that algorithm. Everybody here live tonight, I see all my familiar faces, some new faces. We appreciate you guys coming out. As always, this is a production of Friends of Topsail Football and hosted by none the less than Oval and Ale. We appreciate Oval and Ale and everything they do for our program. So if you haven't already, get your orders into the kitchen, get your drinks, and all that good stuff, and get ready to spend the next hour with us here tonight. We got some things to cover, some things to talk about. We are going to start off this week a little bit different than we usually do. We're going to bring the players up first, and tonight we've got with us number 14, JoJo Sidbury, senior. Let's hear it for JoJo. And we've got Kyle Romanek, number 50, joining us as well, also a senior. So we're going to hear from them. We've got some clips of some plays from the Jacksonville game that we're going to look at, talk about, all that good stuff. We're going to, hopefully, talk to Coach tonight. I don't see him yet, but he'll be here, I'm sure. We're going to recap Jacksonville, hear from Coach. We are going to preview Ashley, which is Thursday night, tomorrow night at home. JV kicks off at 6, and Friday night kickoff is at 7 down in Wilmington at Ashley. So we're going to preview that, and then we're going to kind of look at the conference. Not really like an update like we did last week, but we're just going to look at the conference schedule and hear Coach's thoughts on, the teams and the landscape throughout the conference as we enter conference play. And then we're going to get out of here. So I'm Matt Griffith. I'm your host. This is Rich Mabberley, my co-host. Rich, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you, Matt?
Pretty good. So week 5. It's our conference opener. This is Ashley week. We talked about the game times. JV is coming off of a 16-14 heartbreaker against Jacksonville last Thursday night. Varsity is coming off another tough loss at Jacksonville. And, really much of the same this week, right? Unfortunately, another lopsided loss for the Pirates, varsity-wise. Another close game for the JV Pirates that really could have gone either way. A couple mistakes, both weeks for the JV team, and they're 4-0. So, Rich, I don't really have anything new to add compared to last week. I just think it was more of the same that we've been talking about and we've been seeing for like the last 2-3 weeks. But a storyline to watch, I think, moving forward is, can this team right the ship? Can they open conference play with a win at Ashley Friday night and basically step off into conference play on a positive note?
Yeah, again, not the start that we all would hope for, but hey, conference is starting, now this week, tomorrow for JV and Friday for varsity, so it's almost like a whole new season. We take care of business in conference. We can still hit that goal of making the playoffs, potentially winning conference. I know we got some tough teams out there within the conference, but I think that we've got some winnable games in there as well. So I think the boys go in there, take care of business, do what they have to do in conference, and we'll see how all the cards lie once the season ends.
Yeah, looking at – sorry, let me adjust my mic settings here. I don't want to make everybody go deaf. Anyway, I was just looking at the conference today briefly, when I was prepping – or last night, I should say, when I was prepping for the show and, going and looking at what the teams throughout the conference did last week, because I know we reviewed it. Their first 3 non-conference games last week. But, if you just look at the teams that are in front of us and obviously very tough schedule, some tough teams ahead, but there's definitely some winnable games ahead of us, right? Technically they're all winnable, but, there's games out there that, if Topsail plays like I know they can and everybody's disciplined and we get some luck on our side, the absolute absolutely can win some of these games. So, any more thoughts on that before we move on, Rich?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think what Coach Schmidt said a couple weeks ago, kind of back to the basics, making sure that we're blocking, making sure that we're tackling, things of that nature, I think can get this thing turned back around. I mean, yeah, we're 0-4, but we have played 4 pretty gosh darn good teams so far this season. I think all of those teams, with the exception of maybe Northside, is looking at making the playoffs. So we've had a tough non-conference schedule. Hey, we just get in there, take care of business once the conference starts, and we'll see where it all lays again.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at Dixon this year, even if you just go back to week 1 and you look at what Dixon's done through the first 4 weeks, they're 4-0. They're 4-0. They're handling teams with ease for the most part. They've got the leading rusher in the state, regardless of classification, in the state of North Carolina, the number 1 rusher. He's already over 1,000 yards through 4 games. So. Who saw that coming? But anyway, it's happening, and so yeah, I just echo that. Some tough opponents through non-conference play for sure. But we're going to kick it off here. Like I said, we're going to bring up the players first to the stage tonight and talk to them, and then we'll pivot to our Jacksonville recap and Ashley preview.
Hey, Matt, real quick before we bring the players up, can I give a little shout-out to one of my 4 boys?
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, so, Rico, you're not here right now. Hopefully you are at home watching with Mom, but just wanted to wish you a happy 17th birthday. Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know Rico, he's one of the best shot put throwers in the state.
That's right.
Broke the school record last year. Yeah, so he's out there crushing it, but love you, buddy. Happy birthday, and I will see you when I get home.
Might see him in the Olympics someday.
I hope so. I did tell him the next time I get on an airplane is to go watch him compete in the Olympics.
I need a ticket to that if that's the case. And looks like we have a birthday party going over here. I don't know whose birthday it is, but happy birthday! Is it you? Is it your birthday? No. Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday to the little guy out there, Wesley. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Sorry we got to do this show over top of your birthday, but can't help it. So.
I heard that he asked for us to do the show on his birthday.
Oh.
So.
All right. Well, happy birthday, Rico, and happy birthday, Wesley. So. All right. Without further ado, let's call up to the stage seniors, number 50, Kyle Romanek, and number 14, JoJo Sidbury. All right, guys. Thanks for doing this tonight. I know you just got off the practice field recently, but welcome to the stage. Welcome to the show. Glad you could join us. So we're going to start off. This is a question for both of you. Just talk me through your thoughts on the game Friday night at Jacksonville from a player's standpoint. What do you take away positives, personally, and and from a team standpoint, and what do you think you could do differently as a team?
Well, on Friday, I thought we had a lot of mental toughness. We played all the way from first quarter to the fourth quarter. Every single snap on defense, every single snap on offense. I thought we played amazing on defense. Played till the whistle, got a fumble recovery? Yeah, I thought we played amazing.
Yeah, I thought the guys showed a lot of mental toughness throughout the entire game, and it was nice to see the entire team come together. Even halftime, we weren't at each other's throats, and I just thought that every snap you saw the same intensity from everybody.
That's good. That's definitely a positive. 100% effort every play, no matter the situation. For
yeah,
sure.
And I'm glad to hear that you and your teammates out there are staying focused, staying mentally tough. We all know that things can get a little bit down. So I'm glad that you boys are staying, keeping your eye on what's important.
So Kyle, so for those of you that don't know, I think we talked about this week 1, but Kyle is new to the Topsail area, new to Topsail High, coming in this summer from out of state to play his senior year and attend Topsail for his senior year. So Kyle, welcome to Hampstead and Topsail High from me, even though I know you've been here for a while, but from us. So just share a little bit about yourself, where you came from, and what your experience is in previous years playing football.
I was born and raised in New Hampshire. Since a young age, I played football. I think I was about 5 years old when I started. Throughout my entire life, I've been playing linebacker, fullback. This year, I got moved to O-line, so that was a pleasure for me. Definitely a change, but the team welcomed it, and I welcomed the team at the same time. So it was great to be here.
Awesome. Rich?
Yeah, no, glad to hear that. Glad you're here from, as I say, New Hampshire. Please don't be offended by that. But so how has it been adjusting? Obviously playing football in one place for most of your life, coming over here, your senior year, new teammates, new school, really just a new way of living. How have you adjusted, to Topsail, to the football program, to new teammates, and what have been the biggest challenges?
Biggest challenges have definitely been getting to know the area. I can't thank the guys enough for what they've done, taking me out to eat, showing me around the place and just really showing me what's here and the value that this place can have and what it brings. Coaches as well, from the day I got here, I felt like I was part of a team, even though nobody really knew me. And, getting to know these guys' names, I called kids by the wrong name, and, nobody really makes fun of me for it, but now I have everything down, and happy to be here, and overall just can't thank the guys and coaches enough.
All right, so I got a question for you then. Obviously, Oval and Ale is your favorite restaurant, right? So we'll remove Oval and Ale from the list. What's been the best place you've eaten since you've been here, man? Besides Oval and Ale, of course.
Besides Oval and Ale, there's Low Tide, the steakhouse right outside the island. That place is pretty good. They had some good steak there.
Nice.
I like it. Just real quick before we move on to the next question, just curious, I don't know a lot about New Hampshire, but what college team does someone from New Hampshire cheer for?
Honestly, we got a ton of bandwagons in New Hampshire, so we pick the best Southern team we know, and we just, we ride with them. So, football, I'm a Bama fan just because from a young age. No. And I get the Southern every time. Everyone hates me for it, but, that's just what I've grown up on.
Okay, that's fair. All right. So you mentioned you played some linebacker and some O-line previously in high school on your previous team. So it's as far as linebacker goes, it's not new. However, you did mention that you're playing some O-line this year. So talk about that adjustment, how that's been for you. What are some of the challenges learning a new position but your senior year to kind of pitch in and help the team?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a change. I came off playing fullback for the last 9 years of my football career, but, O-line's been fun. I've had, 4 guys next to me, 3 to my left and 1 to my right, with me playing right guard, and, they helped me with a lot of stuff. My coach has been very patient with me, and, obviously I just try to fly around and do my best, even though if you look at me, I'm slightly undersized for an O-lineman. I try to hit as hard as I can.
All right, awesome. Well, I've got this clip that I'm going to play here. Is it working? No, it's not. Of course it's not. Why would it? Give me just a second here to get this up on the screen. There we go. All right, so this is a clip from the Jacksonville game Friday night. And this is a clip of Kyle playing middle linebacker. I believe that's called the Apache position?
Yep.
Apache, right? And so the reason I pulled this clip is because, my son is a linebacker as well, right? So something that what's linebacker 101, right? Fill the gap. All right, that's your primary job, on the rush defense. Fill your gap. And I thought this was a depiction of that in its entirety. Yeah, and I'll just play it. And if you look at the screen, and I'll put this up on YouTube in just a second once Kyle starts talking, but if you look at the screen and you see the referee standing just short of the 35-yard line, right in front of that referee is the bull linebacker. That's Preston Plunkett. To his left is Kyle, number 50. I don't know if you'll be able to see his number, but when I play through this, just focus in on Kyle and watch. Kyle watched the play once, and then the second time it plays, just talk us through, your reads, what your responsibility is on that play, and basically how you were able to make this tackle.
Responsibility one there is just fill the gap, and obviously you need to know where the marker is for the first down, and so you want to stop that runner before he can get any forward momentum and make sure he doesn't fall forward. So you drive him back as much as you can, and especially in a lot of leagues now, they stop forward momentum wherever the ball carrier goes. That's not how far you drive him back. And so there, I just fill the gap as hard as I can and make sure the runner doesn't want to go there again.
Well, it was a good tackle. I see, right there, you coming in and you're putting him down hard, like you said, not letting him lean forward. So I thought you did a good job right there, filling the gap. If you don't make that tackle, he probably gets the first down. So there was more that I could have picked. I just like this one, like I said, because, that's the linebacker responsibility right there in a nutshell. So good work. We'll keep watching you all year, and we're looking forward to watching you throughout the season. All right, Rich, I'll let you start off with JoJo here.
All right, JoJo. So you're almost like the complete opposite of Kyle, right? In that you have been here your whole life,
Yes,
born
sir.
and raised in this general area, played with a lot of these teammates since you guys were little guys. So what's it been like, kind of growing up as a Topsail Pirate from rec football through middle school and now into high school, playing with all these same individuals?
It's been amazing growing up in Topsail, playing with the same players I'm playing with now. It's been I can't even count how many years I've been here and playing football here. But it's just been amazing. And then getting to high school, senior year, playing with these guys, kind of sad. It's my last year playing with these guys. And I just hope that we go out with, state championship with these guys, since I've been playing with them since I was young.
Yeah, no, and we all hope to see that same thing. All right, so this year a little bit different for you, playing both sides of the ball. If I recall correctly, you didn't play much defense prior to this year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, it would be hard to tell because we believe that you led the team in tackles last week, which is pretty cool for somebody that didn't play defense prior to this year. How has that been, you kind of adjusting to playing both sides of the ball instead of trying to run away from a defender? Now you're trying to hit the ball carrier and things of that nature. How has that adjustment been? Are you enjoying it? Are you ready to get out there and hit some more individuals?
Defense is amazing. I love defense. I kind of like it more than offense, playing safety. But I just love going out there, hitting guys, going for their legs, flipping them, all this, having fun.
Yeah, so like Rich said, I wouldn't have known if I didn't know you prior to this. I wouldn't have known that you never played defense. So because you're laying some pretty heavy hits from back there at the safety position. That's what we call it, right? Safety.
Strong safety.
Just kidding. Anyway, another question for you. So, like we talked about, it's kind of been a rough start to the season for the team. But you as a senior, how do you keep your teammates motivated? What do you say? What do you do? And what conversations do you have, with your teammates to kind of maintain the focus? And really, what do you do to maintain your own focus? So, what are some of those discussions like?
When somebody gets in their head, even I get in my head, I just tell them, play the next play, go out there, keep on playing. We only have, 48 minutes or an hour to play this game. Just go out there with all you got, all your heart, and just play.
That's good. I like it. And since we asked Kyle this, and before I play your clip here, who's your favorite college team? And don't say UNC.
NC State Wolfpack.
Okay, all right. I hear some mixed reactions from the audience. I didn't grow up in North Carolina. I'm a WVU fan, but I guess if I had to pick a North Carolina team, I would lean toward NC State as well. So
Well, I am also not from North Carolina, and unfortunately, I am a Notre Dame fan and not off to the best start this year. And if I had to pick a NC team, I would pick Notre Dame.
I mean, they're about to run them out of Indiana, so maybe they will relocate. Anyway, all right, JoJo, we're going to go into your clip here. Just to orient everybody, if you look at the screen, you see the ref standing right in the middle of the field, just beyond the 30-yard line. If you look right over his head, that's JoJo, number 14, lining up at safety. So in this play that I'm about to show you here, I don't remember if it was a pass. Let me just play it. Yeah, so a little screen pass. JoJo comes up, lets him have it, makes the tackle, prevents the first down. That's exactly what the safety's job is. So, JoJo, talk us through this play, what your reads are, what you're looking at, and what you're trying to accomplish here to help the team.
Yeah, so I believe that either we were in cover 3, I believe, because I'm going straight down. And I see number 2 run a bubble or a screen, and I just go straight, crash down, stop him from getting that first down. And I go straight for his legs. I'm a little guy, so I can't really hit up top. So I go straight for his legs and try flipping him, kinda. And, yeah.
Awesome. All right, let me get back here to... There we go. All right, so, guys, we really appreciate it. We're looking forward to watching the remainder of your senior seasons. We'll be cheering for you. Just go out there and keep playing, guys. Bring your best every day, every snap, and good things will happen. So, JoJo Sidbury and Kyle Romanek, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, as we get readjusted here. So now we're going to move on here. Rich, you might want to kick on that light. For those of you watching on YouTube here, I know it's been kind of late. It's getting darker earlier, so kind of hard to see. So we're going to test this light. If it doesn't work, sorry. We'll change it next week. But and this is a good time to announce that next week, this show is going to run from 6:30 to 7:30 instead of 7 to 8. So everybody knows, everybody hears that. Next week, 6:30 to 7:30 will be the new show time. Spread the word. All right, moving on to our Jacksonville recap here. We're going to go ahead and welcome head coach Coach Schmidt. So, real quick, before we give Coach the mic here, just to kind of recap the Jacksonville game, I thought the defense played well early in the first half. I thought the defense kept the team in the game, and but I just think they wore down in the second half. I think it was tough for the offense to gain any ground, and the defense was on the field a ton. So. Got out of hand a little bit in the second half, but as far as JV goes, I think JV played another solid game. I think they beat themselves. I think Jacksonville was able to score early after a red zone turnover, and then we had a safety in the fourth quarter, and that ended up being the difference in the game. So the JV Pirates had a chance to tie late, but failed on the two-point conversion to drop 16-14, but another solid performance by the JV. Coach, welcome back.
Thank you.
I don't think it's a secret that you were out last week dealing with some personal health issues, and we're glad to have you back. We're glad you're on the road to recovery. We're glad you returned to practice.
Yeah.
And even though you weren't supposed to be at the game Friday night, you were.
Yeah.
So glad you made it out. So
thank you.
But talking about that, so the game Friday night, so you weren't on the sidelines, obviously. but you watched some from the press box. You watched some from the bleachers. You had your headset on, communicating with your coaches on the sideline. Maybe you got some different perspectives from that. But I'll open the floor to you. Share your thoughts on the game, your team's execution, and what you learned from this week.
All right. Well, thank you, Matt. And definitely, I will get to that. But before I forget, and before we kind of delve into the football side of things, I wanted to take this opportunity to just thank the community that we have here, the Topsail Pirates football family that we have, and it is a family that we have. I talk to the boys a lot about the family, the brotherhood that we are trying to build, and that goes to the community that we have here, because I cannot tell you how overwhelmed my family has been by just the outpouring of support, the well wishes, the messages, the text messages, the phone calls, the cards, the meals that have been dropped off to our house, the offers to babysit our son Brock, the lawn maintenance that was done at our house, every little thing that people have offered to do for us, and it humbles me, and it just so much gratitude. I can't even express it in words, and I just feel so blessed and just so humbled to be part of this, because I'm just a football coach, and I just really appreciate everything that all of you, and many of those people are here tonight. Many of those people, I'm sure, are watching, and some people couldn't be here. But I just really want to say thank you to all of those people for all of the messages and all of the support. And for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, I ended up in the hospital last week, and something that happened during the Northside Jacksonville game, our first home game, and ended up in the hospital, and managed to make it back, and got doctor's orders, not actual doctor's orders, but the only doctor who counts, that's my wife, Danielle, who gave me permission, as long as I used the walker that I had, and as long as I did not step foot on the sidelines during the game on Friday night, to attend the game at Jacksonville. Now, that was not taken very kindly by Mr. Hafer, who was a little mad at me, and some other people, but I was happy to make it out to the game, because I got to tell you, sitting in a hospital room for 4 days, not being at practice, as the head football coach, it was hard. It was really, really hard, because, the bond that we have, and Kyle mentioned it, JoJo mentioned it, I think all the kids that we've had up here have mentioned it. Like, it is a bond. It is. We spend so much time together. I mean, the varsity football team and we start seeing each other every day at 12:30 p.m. We get together at 12:30 for fourth block weightlifting. And we're together from 12:30 until they leave, usually between 5 and 5:30 p.m. on most days. That's 5 hours a day we spend together. And so to not have that, in my life 3 days a week plus Thursdays for a couple hours, and then the JVs come in after school, and then on Fridays, 12:30 to 9:30, right? I mean, I really missed it. And I did. And originally I wasn't going to go to the game on Friday night. But going back to your question, Matt, about the JV game on Thursday night, I think that Mrs. Coach Schmidt and my wife Danielle got tired of me screaming at the TV, watching the JV game. And at halftime of the JV game, me calling every assistant coach on the staff multiple times from my couch with my ideas, my adjustments that I wanted them to implement, and then getting frustrated when nobody answered, and then they all called me afterwards, like, are you okay? Is everything all right? What do you need? And I'm like, I need you to answer your phone so that I can give you the adjustments that you didn't put in for the second half, but you all figured it out. But, it was just frustrating for me because, again, like, this is just what I do. Like, this is just who I am, and so she saw that, and we put some safeguards in place, and so I was there on Friday night. All right, so getting back to your question. So again, thank you to all those people here, and I love being here. I've said that many, many times. I'm not planning on going anywhere, and I have said multiple times, and I will continue to say, like, my entire mission right now, and the reason why I wanted to be the head football coach at Topsail High School, and the reason why I want to be at Topsail High School is because I want to make Topsail High School and the Topsail football program the best possible thing it can be for my son Brock, who just turned 2, to get to play in it someday and to get to graduate from there someday. I mean, that's what I want to happen. That I don't plan on going anywhere. I want to be a Pirate. I want him to be a Pirate. So, but getting back to your question, so it was a very interesting experience for me to get to the game. So the first half I coached from the press box, which was the plan in my head all along, but the problem that we discovered in the first half was that our headsets were not working from the press box.
Oh, okay.
So at halftime, I came down, we talked, we did our adjustments like we normally do at halftime, and I talked to the offense and defense, and then we decided, for communication's sake, I would go over to the bleachers. And I got to tell you, that was an extremely weird experience for a coach, especially a head coach, to be in the bleachers with all the fans in the middle of a game that we were losing terribly on the scoreboard. But that being said, I'm winding my way back to the question. Perspective, yes. The perspective that I gained is this. Despite what the light bulb said of 46-6, I 100% agree with what JoJo and Kyle said when you asked the question. We are much closer after last week's game than we were against Northside Jacksonville. Last week I wasn't here for that. Mm-hmm. And much closer than we were after week 2 against Croatan, and much closer than we were week 1 against Dixon. I just think that, yet again, 2 weeks in a row, we're close, and then in the second half, because we're not executing on offense, defense is playing an inordinate amount of snaps, we're not winning the field position battle, and because of that, defense is being put into short fields. They're giving up plays. They're giving up points. It's not their fault. They're just getting tired, and that's what happens. And so the score is looking a lot more lopsided than I think it actually is and actually represents. So, yes, I think that's the perspective I kind of came away from it, and that's kind of one of the things that I came away from. And the other thing that I came away from, which is kind of interesting, is I've noticed a shift. And this is one of the things that I really noticed. I didn't notice it during the first half when I was in the press box, but I really noticed it in the second half when I was in the bleachers. And that shift that I noticed is this, that there have been many people who have said to me that our sideline, right, like during this losing streak that we are on, of this 0-4 start that we've had, that our sideline seems like it's very low energy. Well, it felt like our bleachers were also a little bit low energy, and it felt like we were kind of feeding off one another. And it felt like at times, when we were home at Northside Jacksonville, our bleachers were high energy, our sideline was high energy, and then like when I'm at the JV games, our bleachers are high energy, our sideline's high energy. And so, what I'm going to say is this: we all work together, and we all be high energy, and we all be positive and excited and there and in it, because I remember not too long ago when we were down 56-0 against Charlotte Christian, and Shane Mabberley was out there running routes, he caught a pass for a first down, our first down of the game, when we were down 56-0 against Charlotte Christian in Week 3 of the 2022 season, and we got a standing ovation from the Topsail crowd because we got our first down. And I just want to say this. I want to go back to positivity with all of the things that we do, because it just feels like we're just sometimes focusing a little bit on the negative side of things. So that's my head coaching kind of perspective that I gained from sitting in the bleachers in the press box from Friday. Sorry, Matt, for the long-winded answer.
Yo, you're good. This is your time. So fans, you've been charged with. Say, I did learn that cowbells can sometimes be okay, because I decided to ring one to be funny, and then we picked the ball off. So then I rang it the rest of the game.
But only during defense.
That's right.
Do not make noise during offense, please.
That's right.
Only during defense.
So, yeah, fans, we got to be loud. We got to show out. We got to be loud. The players, you heard it from Coach, players feed off us. We feed off the players. So that's what we got to do.
Yeah, so, Coach, I remember that play like it was yesterday. Shane catching it on the sideline. Beautiful pass from Jack Lambert. Shane brings it and gets chased down at like the 2-yard line. So, love you, buddy, but you should have ran faster. Anyways, so, Coach, obviously unexpected that you were going to be gone. You know, obviously, God bless that you're back and on your way to recovery. So, but your coaching staff was able to kind of pick this thing up, and it didn't seem like during the week, during practice, you know, my boy coming home, Grady, and talking about practice, didn't seem like much change. So your coaches were able to kind of pick it up where you left off, and was able to go out there and execute which I'm assuming that you probably had a little bit of input in there. I know Coach Schmidt. I've known you for about 3 years now, and I'm sure that you, just like you said, calling at halftime, I'm sure you had a lot of calls during practice as well. So, what can you say about your coaching staff that was able to pick it up and get out there and execute with the boys, keep that energy going when obviously, you know, some of our minds were you know, potentially in other places, i.e. Yourself.
Well, I mean, you know, just like I said with the community, you know, and the outpouring of support, I was out of it. I was in the ICU. I have no idea what was going on. I couldn't get to them. I mean, they had no idea what was going on with me, and they just picked up without a beat. And you add to it the fact that 2 of our assistant coaches were also sick on Monday, because everybody at Topsail High School has seemed to be sick within the last 2 weeks at some point or another. And so, like, that Monday we had, like, 3 healthy coaches. And Coach Sharp and Coach Carton looked at each other and were like, okay, well, we got what we got. Let's put a practice together. And they went and figured it out and put the practice together and went and did it. And put an install together and went and got ready for Jacksonville, and they carried on through the week and got everything ready for the game and put together a solid plan. And I can't, you know, speak enough about the job that the 2 of them did, and Coach Broco and Coach Joyce and Coach Freedy and Coach Burke in my absence. I mean, they picked up and they went on without me even being there. And then I came back to practice this Monday, and I was like, okay, so you don't need me anymore, right? Like, you guys got this now, right? And they all looked at me, they're like, no, you're back. And I'm like, no, you guys got this, right? Like, I'm good. I'm just going to go sit over there in the golf cart and just relax. And they're like, no, but Coach. But no, I mean, they did an amazing job. And I really thank them, because they did a great job and huge help. And I really appreciate all their efforts and all their extra work last week.
Round of applause for the coaching staff, please. All right, so, Coach, I asked this question to JoJo when he was up here, you know, from a player/locker room perspective, but from a head coach perspective, after the start to the season, what are you telling your team to keep their minds right, maintain focus, you know, because it really is human nature to kind of get down on yourself, get down on confidence. But how do you counter that as a head coach? Take me inside the locker room and what those discussions are like.
Yeah. My first meeting back with the team was on Monday, and it was a two-pronged approach that we had on Monday, and I told them on Friday after the game, and I reiterated on Monday as well that we are trying way too hard. We are pressing. And, I coached baseball for 6 years, and anybody that played baseball, coached baseball, knows this. Like, we're gripping the bat too hard, and we're trying to swing for the fences. And so the mantra that we have had all week is make the simple play. Make the simple play. On Monday, I pulled out 16 clips from the Jacksonville game. And it was 8 where we made the simple play, we did the boring thing, and the ball advanced. Or on defense, we stopped the ball from advancing. And it was 8 plays where we tried to make the extraordinary play, and something bad happened. And I explained to them that the Topsail football program, in my eyes and in my vision, where we capitalize and where we have an advantage over all of our opponents is we have a lot of really hard-working, really smart, really disciplined, really fundamentally sound, really hard-working young men. And so we have to win knockdown, drag-out street fights on execution, on fundamentals, and we have to win ugly games where we drag teams into the deep end of the pool, kicking and screaming, and we drown them. Like, we are the Iowa of the Coastal Carolina Conference. That's what we have to be. That's what we have to envision ourselves as. And in order to do that, we have to get really, 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 really good at doing the boring thing. And, when I was a baseball coach, I used to say, in 7-inning game, we just need 21 outs. 21 outs. It's okay to make a double play. Yeah, it's great. But it's a lot easier to just throw the ball to first because we only need 21, right? And so in football, yeah, it's great when, if we run an option play and we get it to JoJo around the end and he runs for 70 yards for a touchdown. But if it's 3rd and 2, how about we just hand it to Matt Hayes for 2 yards, keep the ball, get a first down, ho-hum, keep the ball, keep the possession, keep the chains moving, right? Make the simple play. So that's number one. And so that's mantra number one. And then the other thing I told them is this. The 4 non-conference teams we've played this year, Dixon's 4-0, Croatan's 3-0, Northside Jacksonville's 3-1. They lost to one team, Jacksonville. Jacksonville's 3-0. So 1 loss between the 4 teams we've played, so it's not all bad, right? And then, and I have to pull my phone out for this, I said to them, not that rankings mean a heck of a lot, but if you look at the NCHSAA RPI rankings, which is how they decide who makes the playoffs and who doesn't, and you look at the 7A rankings, which we are in Class 7A, and you look at the people in our conference, which is how they decide who makes the playoffs, right? North Brunswick is seated 35th after non-conference play. New Hanover is 37th. Topsail is 40th. Ashley is 48th. So we're seated above Ashley with our current record based on who we played. And so I told them, I said, look, we can't change the past. That season's over. Call it the preseason. Call it whatever you will. It's a 6-week season, and it starts now. We got 6 weeks, right? We got 6 weeks. I'm not asking you to do anything extraordinary. It's 6 weeks. It starts this week at Ashley. We're going 1 week at a time. Everything that we have wanted to do is in front of us. We can still go undefeated at home in the conference, which is one of our team goals. We can still beat one of the big 3, which is one of our team goals, New Hanover, Laney, Hoggard, right? We could still win homecoming, which is one of our team goals, which is North Brunswick next week, right? We can still make the playoffs and host a playoff game, which is one of our team goals. We can still have a better record than last year, which is one of our team. Like, everything that we wanted to do is still in the open. Just flush what we already did in the last 4 weeks, and we're 0-0. We start over. So that's what we've been talking about a lot, and that's what we've been discussing. And, we've had a couple of really good days of practice so far this week, and I think the kids have really responded to it. So I hope that yields good results come the end of this week.
3 home games left, 3 away games left. So we're going to go ahead and move on here to that concludes our Jacksonville recap. We're going to go ahead and move on and preview Ashley briefly, and then preview the conference briefly, and then wrap this up tonight. But just talk briefly about Ashley. So, like Coach said, we are ranked ahead of Ashley in the state RPI right now in 7A. So they've had their own struggles to start the season, much like the Pirates. And they enter this week with a 1-3 record. They've got 3 losses to open the season at home versus Sanderson, which is a team from Raleigh. Lost 13-6 in that game. They have a 19-17 loss at E.E. Smith, which is a team out of Fayetteville. And then a loss at home versus Scotland, which is a team. We got a Scotland grad in the audience here.
Scotland County.
I'll never forget that now, Chad. Anyway, loss at home to Scotland, 27-19. They're coming off of their first win of the season at Fike last week in a 45-42 final score. Like we talked about last week, Ashley's kind of led by the run game. Senior running back Bryson Lovelace, he's currently 17th in the entire state of North Carolina, regardless of classification, with 603 yards through 4 games. If we got any mathematicians, that's good for 150 yards per game. On defense, they're led by their senior linebacker, kid by the name of Adrian Gaines. He's number 10 for those who want to pay attention. But he leads the conference in tackles with 49. My keys to the game is real simple and kind of like weeks past, right? Defensively, commit to stopping the run. Force Ashley into passing situations. Offense, limit your mistakes and turnovers. Stay disciplined. Don't give up yards on bonehead penalties, pre-snap penalties. Take care of the ball, no turnovers. Stay on the field, offense. Give the defense some rest, block, and move the ball. Get yourselves pumped up before the game. Come out fast and force Ashley to play from behind. All right? Let's play from ahead this Friday. Rich, anything to add before we turn it over to Coach?
Yeah, and really it's just echoing what Coach said earlier and then what you just said, Matt, is we got to kind of play this game like the Service Academies play the game. They're not the biggest, they're not the strongest, and I'm not saying that about our boys, but what they do and what they do really well is those simple things. They pick up 3 yards on runs up the middle. They do that a second time. Now it's 3rd and 4. They do that a third time. Now it's 4th and 1, and now you can go for it. And every time you can do that, you're keeping that offense on the field, you're giving that defense a rest, and you're making that game shorter. And that's what we have to do. That's the kind of team that we've got. Then if we're able to do that, then, I mean, we can win some football games in this conference. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said earlier, Coach. I agree with what you said, Matt. Got to keep our offense on the field to keep our defense on the sidelines, chew up that clock, and make this thing, pull them into the deep end and drown them.
All right, so we're going to turn over to Coach now, talk about his keys for Ashley, what he sees from them so far, and, what the team's going to do to try to get the win.
I knew that would. I knew that would go over well with you two veterans going into the deep end and drowning them. One of the things I really love about conference play is that it's so different from non-conference play, because non-conference, it's weird because you only play them. You play a home and home every other year. You don't really know them. And it's more about, you don't really know your opponent as well. But conference play is all about, it's coach against coach. It's players against players. It's not, scheme is not as important, right? Coach Lombardi and I have coached against each other for 4 years now. Coach Lombardi is the head coach there. He's been calling the offense. I've been calling the defense against him for 4 years. And every year, he and I talked before the game, and every year he's like, hey, Coach, what's that new thing you're doing on defense? And I'm like, hey, you're not going to get that out of me this year. You're going to have to find out. And then last year, they got the ball on the opening kickoff and scored a 70-yard touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. And then he looked at me, and then I looked at him, and then I was like, yeah, you figured it out. Okay. But we made the adjustment. He didn't do it again. But, like, it's a familiarity thing because we see him every year, right? And so the biggest thing, for me is just we know what they're going to do. They are going to do the same thing to us that they always do to us. They are going to attack our perimeter because our perimeter defense has been weak in the past couple of weeks, especially to the field. They're going to try to run the ball weak, which is not going to work very well for them. So then they're going to go back to trying to attack the perimeter of the field, the wide side of the field defensively. And we're going to be fine, and then they're going to try to do play action and throw it over the top, and as long as we read our keys, we're going to be good on defense, unless we get tired. And then offensively, they run what I really respect out of Ashley is that, like us, they run a defense, a very simple defense. It is very, very, very simple, but they believe in it. And they play fast, and that's all you need to do. And it's just like ours, and it's a bend but don't break. But they run a 4-4 cover 3, and the way that they play it hard. They get after you. And so for us, offensively, again, it's about understanding where we can attack that 4-4. It's about understanding where we can attack that cover 3 coverage. And it's about taking what they give us and staying on the field. And then finally, for the first time in 5 weeks, I would love, as a head coach, to win the field position battle because we have lost it. And as a defensive coach, it bothers me greatly because, like, I just hate continuing to watch offenses start drives in our territory and giving them short fields, and it's little things. And so again, it's little things, and the guys could probably tell you the amount of times I have said over this week, make the simple play, and I've said stop hurting ourselves. It's little things that we can control, and so we've been talking a lot about those little things, and so that's really what we've been kind of focusing on.
Awesome. All right, so that wraps up our Ashley preview. Now we're going to briefly just kind of, since we're entering conference play, we are going to talk about just some changes around the conference, what's going on as from a coaching standpoint around the conference. But 6 games, as we touched on. Varsity's got 3 home, 3 away. At Ashley this week, then home versus North Brunswick for homecoming. Then we're at Laney, home versus Hoggard, and then home versus West Brunswick for senior night. And we have a bye week after that, and then we finish the season at New Hanover on October 31st. Rich, I'll go ahead and open the questioning with Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. So one of those first questions that Matt and I had written down, I think you already kind of answered, Coach, and that's talking about looking ahead into the conference and identifying some winnable games that are there, which I think that technically they are all winnable right now. So sorry, this light may go back off. I'm going to pass that to Matt. So we'll kind of skip over that question. But what is your preparation looking like heading into conference? Is it different than these non-conference teams that, like you said, you're doing film study on, but you're not as familiar with as the teams that you personally have had the opportunity to coach against for the past 4 years?
Again, it's a familiarity thing, and it's also every offseason we go back through all of our games and we look at how teams attacked us defensively, how teams defended us offensively, but we pay special attention to our conference opponents and we build a file. And then when we go back to these weeks, so like our Ashley week, like Sunday when we had our staff meeting, and it was like, okay, it's our staff meeting, and it's like, all right, pull out the Ashley file. How'd they attack us last year defensively? right? How did they defend us offensively? Okay. So what did we learn from that? Now we then put that against the last 2 games of film that they have. What players changed, right? What players do they have? And so, like, again, it's that familiarity, and it's like the way that they attacked Scotland, the way that they attacked Fike, the way that they attacked one of their other opponents doesn't necessarily mean as much as it might for a non-conference because, again, they know what we do. They know who we are. We know what they like. We know who, we know each other at a different level. So, it's just a little bit different in that aspect. And I love it because I love that familiarity. And I love the rivalry it creates because, as a football fan, and you being a football fan, you understand this. It's something different when, I'm as a Bills fan. It's something different when you play the Jets or the Dolphins or the Patriots. As a Bears fan, something different when you play the Lions and the Packers, and than it is when you just play somebody else. It just means a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree and I disagree, Coach, because although the Bears are playing the Packers and the Lions and the Vikings, it always is the same, and that we end up losing. So, yes.
Maybe it's time to switch teams.
Negative, Ghost Rider. Well, all right. So I got kind of follow-up question to that. So familiarity with the teams, with the programs, there are some changes to the coaches heading into this year. Obviously, you being one of those. So for those new coaches, I believe Laney's got a new head coach. Is that right? How do you kind of prepare your team? Is it kind of getting a scouting report on them prior to and being able to see, okay, are they running the same stuff as they ran last year? Is it an internal hire for them like it was for us? How do you prepare your team when you're talking about a new head coach that you may not be as familiar with as you are with some of the other ones?
Yeah, what's crazy about our conference is if you look at everybody in our conference, right, if you look at us, North Brunswick, West Brunswick, I'm not excluding South because they're not in the conference anymore. Hoggard, Laney, New Hanover, Ashley. Is that everybody? Am I missing something?
6.
That's it, yep. That's 7, right?
With us.
Yeah, because us, yep.
Yep.
Right? North Brunswick is the only one that's had a head coach for longer than 4 years, right? And that's crazy. And that coach, Brian Davis, right, he used to coach here. Right? On Hoggard, too. Sorry, Coach Underwood, yep, he's been there for longer, too. So 2 out of the 7. And so, Laney's head coach is from outside Laney, but the new head coach at New Hanover is John Fuller, who was their defensive coordinator, an internal hire. So I'm anticipating they're going to run a lot of the same stuff. The Laney coach, I don't know, we'll see when we get to them. Ashley, Coach Lombardi is their head coach, but he was their offensive coordinator before. And so, if they're an internal hire, we expect that they're going to be a lot of the same stuff, at least on one side of the ball, and then we kind of just see what they're doing. And then it's just kind of a mix and mash and just kind of see, who they are. But, everybody's different. We're obviously a little bit different than we were last year. People change, coaches change. Everybody's got their own little philosophies and little tweaks that they do. So, but again, we're playing Ashley this week. Not looking past Ashley. I didn't even realize homecoming was next week, to be quite honest with you. I thought it was like 2 weeks from now. I didn't know it was next week. Because now you got me all worried because now I'm trying to think about all the distractions that come with homecoming being next week. But I'll worry about those after we beat Ashley on Friday.
That's right. So, week 5, Ashley week, entering conference play tomorrow night. JV, 6 o'clock at home. I'll see you there, everybody. We need to be there. We need to show out, be loud. I believe we beat Ashley JV last year. No, we didn't. So we need to do that tomorrow night.
Lost by a point.
A point. That's right. All right. Well, we're gonna get that back tomorrow night at home. JV, 6 o'clock. Friday night at Ashley. Not a far drive down whatever that road is. College.
It's really far.
Yeah.
It's always really far.
Well, that's
and the last time we were there, Mr. Hafer almost blew away.
Oh, I remember that.
We lost. That was when the hurricane came, and we lost like 3/10 from the FTF brigade.
Yep.
TV
Tense, TVs, huddle. We almost lost Coach Sharp. I mean, he was like, I think there's a hurricane up here. And I said, well, you want to come down? He said, no, it's kind of cool, actually.
That's the one where we had to leave the stadium for the lightning delay, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
then we came back, and then we still lost tents and a TV. We lost an entire TV last time we were there. And it's also further than it should be.
That's what we got FTF to
That's right.
take care of all that stuff. So, so Friday night at Ashley.
Matt,
yeah,
real quick,
go.
I did hear, though, that if you're going to ECU this weekend, it is faster if you go to Ashley first.
That's what I heard,
rumor.
too.
That is the rumor. So
That's what I heard.
Yep.
Chris,
I
did you
heard
hear
that,
that?
too.
Did you hear that, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that, too. Yep. It's a lot quicker to go to Ashley first, then go to ECU.
So,
I
Friday
heard that
night.
from little Chris Hafer, actually. He told me that. Yep.
Is there an airport at Ashley High School? Maybe. All right, anyway. So Friday night at Ashley, let's get out there, Pirate fans, and let's support our team. I'm going to say it again this week. FTF, volunteers, we need you. Sarah, are we good for tomorrow? Yes, thumbs.
Yeah, so chains.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to help volunteer with the chains tomorrow night,
Reach
please
out.
go to the FDF homepage or Facebook page and put your name on the list. Free entry. And second best seat in the house, I still think on top of the Crow's Nest is the best.
All right. So there it is. FTF volunteers, we need you. So socials, right? We've got the Facebook page, FTF, like we talked about. We've got an Instagram. We've got a Twitter or X or whatever. And we have YouTube that you guys are watching on now. Get on those, follow them, subscribe. Again, like this video if you're watching it live. Share it with somebody. Share it to your Facebook, whatever it is, so more people find out. Every time I talk about it, somebody else is like, oh, I didn't know you were doing that. So we got a job to do there. Thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight. We appreciate you being here. Bring your neighbor, bring your teammates, bring your friends, your family, and let's come out here and make this Wednesday night thing throughout the season even more special. As always, thank you to Oval and Ale, Jamie, yourself, your staff, your food, all top notch. We appreciate everything you guys do for FTF, for the football team, and the school in general. Round of applause for Oval and Ale. One of my favorite places to be here on an evening. So, all right, that wraps it up. Rich, I'll give you the final thought and the last word, and we'll get to the house.
Yeah, three things. One, again, happy birthday, Rico. Love you, buddy. I'll see you when I get home.
Happy birthday, Rico.
Two, my favorite North Carolina football team, and I feel bad for not saying this, would be Winston-Salem State.
There you go.
That is where my boy plays.
Sarah text him.
Maybe not. And three, and the most important, go Pirates.
Go Pirates.